Yo, yo, what's going on, fellas? How is everybody doing on this great Wednesday morning? Hopefully, everybody's doing well. Hump Day edition here of Winning Bets. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me, coming off a long layover. We obviously had family in town. And then on Monday, son had a doctor's appointment that I told you guys about. So that's why that's why we've missed the last couple of shows. So we've got a big, awesome time ahead of us here today. We got to go ahead and recap last week, recap Monday, recap yesterday, and then get on into the payoff pitch live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, previewing today's MLB slate with the Hockey Squirrel. So throwing up the recap there from last week, we don't get to ring the cash register. 17 and 19, so almost 50-50 there on the record-wise, but down 4.15 units. Still good on the year, barely up 3.35 units. And arbitrage year-to-date, we're able to scoop up a little bit of money last week. You've got the Women's World Cup that's been in action, so we've been able to scrape a few dollars, so that's been good right there. Let's talk about some of those good wins and some of those losses from last week. How about a nice 3-1 start on Monday? Remember, we took several baseball games, and we basically just took the over in 3 baseball games. They all cashed. We just got tripped up on Lane Thomas, unable to get over 1.5 total bases. But a good start to the week. We also hit Corbin fade on the fade, so love to see that right there when you can still fade Patrick Corbin to success, and we were able to do that last week, so love to see that right there. What about the Dodgers last week? For whatever reason, the numbers always look good from the Dodgers, obviously from an offensive perspective, one of the better offenses in the league. But they were paired up with teams last week that were also equally good in offense. Bullpens that were struggling. So we did in the Texas Rangers series, we did 2 overs in the Dodgers money line on Friday, went 3-0 in that series. And just before they played the Texas Rangers, they took on the Baltimore Orioles. We took the over on the first 2 days and got good cashes right there. So love to see that right there. Really dialed in on those Dodgers last week, so they treated us good right there. We also, the Pirates were also another team that treated us good. One day we did their F5 team total under. Then another day against Shohei Ohtani, we did the F3 team total under as well. Pirates are really struggling right now, so they're an easy fade, and we did that to the tune of 2 cashes last week. And then what about the tennis parlays? Remember when we cut out the bullshit of doing 3-legged tennis parlays? Keep them to 2-legged tennis parlays, and we went perfect last week in 2-legged tennis parlay, so love to see that right there. What about the bad stuff last week? What about the juicy tennis parlay, the 3-legged parlay at -200? It was way too juicy above our comfort zone. It was also too many legs above our comfort zone, just really bad sports betting behavior. You do that more times than not, you're going to end up on the wrong side, and we certainly were losing that one. What about McDonald on the 2-unit play at the ATP Newport? He was taking on Mickelson there, and prior to that tournament, Mickelson had never won an event on the ATP Tour. Let me repeat that. Mickelson had never won a match on the ATP Tour prior to arriving at the ATP Newport, where he knocked off Cressy in the first round and then took down our 2-unit play there in McDonald in straight sets. Tough loss right there. Alcantara going under 5.5 Ks up against the St. Louis Cardinals. He went over that, getting 7 Ks. Heartbreaker stuff right there. They were able to get to him, get some damage off him, but they were swinging and missing too much. So painful one right there. Hogan Harris going on against the Astros. He had another good outing against the Astros, so tip your cap to Hogan Harris. He was able to keep those Astros bats at bay, and in the process, he went over his outs prop. What about the cash cow, Zach Greinke? Well, bad week overall, bad week on the cash cow. He went over 1.5 walks, over 1.5 walks. That's not what he's done. It's only the second time all season he's gone over his walks. So still a good play. Just unfortunate he couldn't quite come through for us right there. MLB dogs. Remember on Friday we took Dodgers, which, by the way, was our only win. But we took, Red Sox on Friday. We took Tigers on Friday. We took a plethora of other teams. It did not go well for us taking the MLB dogs. And then I highlighted the Tigers out there on the bottom because we took a stab on them on Friday. We took a stab on them on Saturday. And we know why we took a stab on them, because they had the advantages. We liked them as a dog going on against the Padres. And then Sunday, I was in a tough situation of what do I talk about on the payoff pitches where the Hockey Squirrel can bet this plus 200. He's got the discipline to go right back at it the next day and not lay off of the good value. I went back at it on Saturday, and after getting my, hand caught in the cookie jar twice, I laid off on Sunday, because Sunday they had a tougher matchup with Joe Musgrove. Like, if you looked at the schedule ahead of time, you'd have thought, they're going to lose Sunday with Joe Musgrove on the mound, and go figure that's the one game in that series that they win. And that's the one game in that series I also did not bet. So tough one right there. So all in all, obviously it was a tough week. Look to go ahead and rebound and help you guys put some money in your pocket, which we did not do on Monday, which I got to admit, yeah, family's in town. Yeah, son had a doctor's appointment. You go 0-5 on Monday. And that played a part in not being able to show up yesterday and do the show. To say my head was dropped and I was a little pissed off was an absolute understatement. I was in so much pain after going 0-5. Brutal, absolutely brutal right there. So, yeah, that's how the week started off. But we rebounded yesterday. We won't ring the cash register because we had a losing week last week and a losing day on Monday. But we did bounce back yesterday, get some profits in our pocket at plus 1.46 units, 2-1 in tennis, 2-1 on baseball. That's what I'm talking about. Start to turn this week around. Loaded slate today in the MLB. And again, look forward to breaking it down with you guys here at the 11:30 or so with the Hockey Squirrel. So that's where we stand. Again, appreciate you guys hanging out. Kicking off the morning here with you on Winning Bets. We're going to talk some sports and talk some sports betting as well. That's where we're at as the weekend unfolds. What's up, Tyler? What's up, my man? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Fire up those comment sections. Fire up those comment sections. Hey, man, don't be so hard on yourself. Yeah, we lost our UFC play on Saturday, but damn, we're now 3-1 in our UFC career. I don't think anybody's heartbroken. Yeah, I think everybody's upset to not win the pick, but that's just general upsetness over a losing pick. It's all good, man. See if you can land us a winner this week. We'd all appreciate it. We would all appreciate it. Let me go get a Hockey Squirrel, and let's just jump on into the payoff pitch. We won't hold anything back. There are a lot of day, afternoon games. I only remind you before we do that, though, we do got a couple tennis plays in action, or I should say one tennis play. It's a two-legged parlay. We're at the ATP Hamburg in Germany. We want Rudd and Musetti to both win 2-0. Rudd and Musetti to both win 2-0. Rudd is in action right now. Match just got underway. It's on serve, 2-1 in the first set, and Musetti will be facing off against his opponent a little bit later on. So there is an option still to tail it because Ruud is still on serve in the first set. You can still jump in and go ahead and tail that one if you like. So, all right, let's go get ourselves a Hockey Squirrel. Come on back with you guys, and then let's talk today's MLB slate where we've got 6 bets already given out on Twitter. Let's see what we go ahead and add to it. Fired up to be here with you guys this morning. Let's go. Come right back with you guys on some payoff pitch. Hey there, everybody. Welcome on into this episode here of the Payoff Pitch, live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, live every day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So therefore, thank you guys for being flexible with us as we're kicking off at around 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Appreciate you guys being flexible. Excited to preview today's MLB slate with you guys. We, of course, got the Hockey Squirrel powered by Bet Openly. Let's get the Squirrel's opening thoughts here in quick hits. What's up, man?
Hey, man. Went to bed kind of upset last night with the Blue Jays. I had bet that bottom of the ninth inning, they were leading 7-3 and proceeded to blow a 7-3 lead. Go into extra innings, get thrown out at home plate. Yeah, that was irritating. But
I tell you,
on
Squirrel,
to today. Here we are.
I tell you, Squirrel, that ending there in Blue Jays Dodgers it really shows why I like watching sports in a sports book, like in a casino, because just seeing the reaction on Twitter was kind of fascinating. You saw the both sides on Twitter, the people who had the Blue Jays like you did, and then the people on the other side that had the Dodgers. Just imagine if you were in the sports books now, you get the language and the enthusiasm and the energy to go with that. Love being in a casino and in a sports book. So sorry you're on the wrong side of that, but I think that is why we generally like betting in sports, that entertainment and that fun. So you'll bounce back today. Let's go ahead and bounce back. Let's kick it off now and around the bases, where we like to take a couple games and go ahead and break them down. How do you want to go ahead and kick things off, Squirrel?
Yeah, I got to refresh myself a little bit. I was kind of looking at everything this morning, and then we got the late start, so I got into some YouTube videos. I got sidetracked a little bit. Now I'm trying to remember what the hell I was getting all prepared for here. So I think I was going to start it off with the Washington Nationals. I was going to take them on the money line. Rockies, another team that blew a lead yesterday. I had taken the Rockies yesterday at plus 130, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They blew a nice 5-2 lead, I think it was. Today you get Peter Lambert, however, for the Rockies, which I would be none too excited to back. Hasn't been great, and you only expect him, to go an inning or two. Then you get the Rockies bullpen. Rockies bullpen has been better in the last 2 weeks. It's funny how baseball is that way, when you're looking in terms of, time element, right? When you analyze it in chunks, as we've said for the last 2 seasons, things look a lot different. Rockies have been a little better, and Nationals bullpen, my God, I mean, it's not good by any means, but I think another thing beyond the kind of sketchy pitching to begin here with Lambert is the injuries are starting to pile up for the Rockies, right? I believe it was Chris Bryant is now lost to the injured list as well, the 10-day injury list with a finger injury. You have Profar doubtful and CJ Cron as well. It looks like, obviously Blackman's been out for quite a while, but yeah, it's becoming more of a roster of unknown names and whatnot as these guys keep getting injured or rested or doubtful. So everything considered, I ended up taking a minus 130, I believe, on the Nationals today.
Nationals today, taking on the Rockies. Love to see that right there. Let me down yesterday. Couldn't quite hit their F5 team total against the left-hander in Austin Gum, which I was quite surprised about, but hopefully they can come through for you today. I'm going to go ahead and kick off today's show with the Marlins taking on the Rays. I'm just going to go to Alcantara under 18.5 outs. Burned me on this last start, tried to do under Ks, but what did he do in that start against the Cardinals? Does what he does most times and not. Really can't go into that 7th inning. Can lately go 6 innings and give his team a good chance. He's actually kind of turned the corner a little bit, but you saw it against the Cardinals, right? It was the first inning explosion. He's going to have an inning that's really going to run up his pitch count. And then the other innings, you can see it. He's pitching 20-plus pitches, around per inning. So now he's getting the Rays, which are about league average. This isn't an offense that's smoking by any chance, but look at his game log. Even the teams that are average, below average, are making Alcantara seriously work this season, running up his pitch count. And he can go 6 innings and still have a good outing. That is the max, and obviously what I see, because I'm going to do under 18.5 outs. But if he goes that, he's going to have worked really hard. So can't imagine he goes back out for that 7th inning. But I needed something to parlay it with. So I'm going to parlay it with Oviedo there of the Pirates to not be the winning pitcher. They're still in San Diego taking on the Padres, where you're going to get the better offense in the Padres. You're going to get the better bullpen in the Padres. Oviedo versus Lugo may be a wash from a starter perspective, but the discrepancies in those offense and bullpens are really, really big right now. So Oviedo's not going to be the winning pitcher, Alcantara is going to stay under 18.5 outs, and you could snag that parlay at plus 126. What's another one for you there, Squirrel?
Yeah, I'll start off with a couple money line favorites. I had the Nationals, as we talked about. Next one, I'm going to take another better starter, at least I believe, in Carlos Rodon with the Yankees, and this may be finally a time to back the Yankees as much as we've been kind of ragging on them here for the last, it feels like the last couple of weeks. There hasn't really been a reason to back the Yankees, but here, Quintana's not new, obviously, to baseball, but he is new to the Mets, and he only has one game pitched, and I don't know particularly what to expect. He's only had one game against the White Sox, who we know, they're not very good at all. I've been let down a few times in the last week or so by the White Sox. So I do believe quite obviously, I think we're getting a much better starter in Rodon. Then you're looking at better starter, I believe, for Yankees, but better bullpen for the Mets overall. So it may be a question of how long Quintana stays in, or if the Yankees can get some quick hits, if you will. See, nice little pun there. But yeah, I don't think that the offenses are super far apart. I think it comes down to the starter here and the Yankees being at home. I think I got this somewhere around. I have minus 143.
Okay.
That's what I was willing to pay.
Minus 143 for the Yankees. Take it on the Mets there in the Subway Series. Carlos Rodon on the mound. See if he can't come through. Let's talk Blue Jays, Dodgers. Let's talk Gonsolin under 16.5 outs. I gave it out at minus 110. You can now find minus 150 on DraftKings, so there's a little bit of justification, right? Everybody seems to be thinking the same thing I do with Gonsolin staying under 16.5 outs. Hell, he's had 15 starts on the season, and he stayed under in 9 of his 15 starts this season. The Blue Jays don't come into this game with a terribly smoking hot, great offense, one that you want to throw all your cash at. But it's above average. It's getting the job done. They've got good batting average, slugging, the weighted runs create. It's all around league average, but they're not striking out, which you love to see that as well. So that should help drive up his pitch count. They seem to like Gonsolin like 5 innings. Like that just seems to be what they're satisfied with getting out of him. If he can go 5 strong against his Blue Jays team, that should make him work. Then I think the Dodgers will be happy with that. And just based on what he's done this season, 9 out of 15 times, I can't see him going out for that 6th inning. So we'll take Gonsolin under 16.5 outs, minus 110. We've talked long enough. Let's shut up now and give these guys some pitching props. We'll do it and shut up and pitch.
Yeah, I muted my mic for a second. I felt like I was in that in-between spot where I was like about to sneeze, but it wouldn't come. I hate that.
You have that look on your face of...
Yeah, no, it's like right there, but it's not happening for me. So, the only player that I've come across that I'm willing to actually bet, so far in terms of projections is Brayan Bello. This is the Red Sox, and he's going to go against the Atlanta Braves, and this is not a team that you would at all think of as high strikeout rate, and they're not, but they're not like seriously at the I guess bottom of the list for strikeout rates. They're pretty much just middle of the road right now. The Atlanta Braves, they're not good, but they're not bad in terms of striking out. I have over 4.5 for Brayan Bello at minus 110. The juice is obtainable. I mean, it's doable. It's not, you're not paying an arm and a leg for it. And I believe I have a projection of around closer to 5.5 than the 4.5 that we're getting. So that's one I really like today. And looking at the game log, I think it's something that's certainly achievable as well for Bello.
Okay, cool. Like that right there. Bello going over right there against the Atlanta Braves. We had a comment in the comment section from the gent. He was wondering about that Braves-Red Sox game, what we thought about the total. I'm sure we'll touch on that in rapid fire.
I think it's too high.
Think it's too high at over 10? If you're interested, you're only interested in the under?
I think so, and it's because I'm finally done taking the under on Spencer Strider. Although, today he'll probably get one.
Get one strike.
I'll
Yeah,
probably get tagged at the time, like the second I don't bet the shit, it'll hit. So
this is
by a large margin.
this is when you need to stay on it. I just talked about how
Yeah.
on my daily recap show, I didn't have the discipline to go back into the Tigers money line for a third consecutive day after losing two in a row, where you do have the discipline. This is where you should do it. The Red Sox K at 19.5%. They hit 293. Their weighted runs created is
Yeah.
125. All that's top five. Like, if he's going to stay under, this on paper is the start he's going to hit the under 8.5 Ks. It's scary as hell. I know
Yeah.
he's taking all your goddamn cash, and that's why you don't want to go back to the well. But paper, this is it. This is the one.
Yeah. No, I mean, if I have Bello to go over five, I mean 4.5, or to get 5.5, I mean, I don't know. It makes sense to take an under when you have a power pitcher, a strikeout pitcher like Strider, and a good projection on Bello.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't foresee 11 runs in the game. I guess it's due to the offenses, but I don't know, man. It just seems like a lot to me to get 11 in this game with this pitching and all this. I think it's too high, but that's just, that's my opinion. I didn't play it, and I don't really play my opinions not, very rarely. But for me, it's about the numbers, and looking at what we have on the table, I can't say 11 runs is what I think would happen.
There you go, DeGent. Take the under. I'm going to go ahead and stay in this same game. Let's keep talking about it here, DeGent. I'm interested in Spencer Strider over 4.5 hits, over 4.5 hits, minus 125. He's allowed 9 of his 20 opponents to go ahead and do that. So obviously a hit rate below 50%. But start to look at which teams he does it against, and it starts to make sense. And then, as I just touched on those Red Sox numbers, one of the better offenses right now versus right-handers, top 5. That average slugging, weighted runs created, K percentage, and OPS is all in the top 5 versus right-handed pitching. So there's a blueprint here for Spencer Strider to maybe have a little bit of a rough start. Two really just hot bats to ignore. And a guy that, he does get in trouble. It's just he's got the strikeout stuff to get himself out of trouble. He will be in trouble today. This offense is too good to get him off the hook every single time. So I like Spencer Strider to have over 4.5 hits. And if he doesn't and he wants to do the 6 innings, 13 Ks, that's too many innings that he's going to be giving up hits just on how the longevity that he may pitch in this game. So I like Strider over 4.5 hits, and I also like Andrew Heaney there of the Texas Rangers under 16.5 outs. Under 16.5 outs. This one I had a plethora of stuff to go ahead and justify it. I'm going to justify it by the sportsbooks are now at 15.5 outs. So give me a follow on Twitter. I tweeted this play out. Haney under 16.5 outs. You could only get 15.5 outs right now. Under in both starts versus the Astros. Under in 11 of 19 starts overall. Yeah, the plays that take Haney under 16.5 outs. We call it long shots. We like to give you guys some plus money winners on this show every day. Let's do that, Squirrel. What plus money winners do you got?
I only have one, and it's you can get it. Depending on the book, you can get it 10 cents better than where I got it, and I liked it where I got it. I'm going to back Alcantara today and the Marlins. I don't think that it's plus 160 worth, that's for sure. That's where you can get it right now. I got 150, and I was fine there. The Marlins, for sure, in runs recently are at the dead last bottom of the board, right? But when you look at the Rays in terms of their runs in the same amount of time, they're not that far off. And I know for sure that the Marlins K percentage isn't very high because I took Glass now under 8.5 yesterday, and literally it came down to the last strike, and I won finally.
Oh, you won. Okay, good. Sorry, that was definitely my tone of like you got burned in the last batter K. Okay, good. It worked out for you. What the hell?
No, I finally won one. But no, I was looking at the Marlins strikeout rates yesterday, and I think he had, dude, I was feeling very comfortable because I think he had like 6 strikeouts after 6 innings, and he had like 88 pitches, and I was like, oh, this will be fine. And then he almost struck out the side, I think, on the last.
I've been there. Everybody watching the show has been there and feels that pain.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I mean, with 88 pitches to strike out the side, I mean, the odds aren't, But yeah, it came down to the last strike. So anyway, Marlins, back to this. Low strikeout rates. I don't think, things are too terribly far apart, and you're getting Eflin with, the sub 1 whip and all the, the elite numbers and everything. But Alcantara's no pushover, and I mean, to warrant a plus 160, it's just too much. Your first pitch is in 4 minutes, by the way, so if you want that, I would hurry up.
That's a matchup where you can't ignore the price, as you keep saying, plus 160. Probably don't expect to get the win, but certainly a good chance to get the win. But
There's
yeah,
so many games this year that I have not expected to get the win,
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of times I've taken the Oakland A's, the amount of times I've taken the Colorado Rockies or the Washington Nationals at these plus 200, plus 220, or the Royals at a plus 240 prices, and I've hit a lot of them. I really, really have. And you don't have to hit an insane amount of plus 240 to make money. I mean, you just don't. It doesn't feel good when you lay the ticket, but when you cash a couple of them, especially if they're in the same day. I remember I had a day last week where I cashed a plus 200 Nationals and a plus 200 Royals, I think, in the same day.
Feels good.
It was fantastic. Yeah, no, it feels great.
Okay, well, I want to keep the spotlight on you if possible, not to force more picks out of you.
Do it.
You do seem to do really well in long shots. Is Marlins going to be it, or what you got? Anything else?
That will be it, I believe, for my long shots. It's my favorite one, my best one, and it's actually your first pitch time's in 13 minutes. I was a little bit off there. Sorry, I apologize.
Plenty of time to tail that winner. Plenty of time to tail that winner. All right, I've got 2 long shots for you. And 2 long shots that I've actually bet. Not just going to go ahead and give them out on lean. They've made the card. The first one, we talked about it. Over, under, I don't know. But damn, the Red Sox are going to win that ball game. Take it on the Braves. Let's talk about a couple.
They did last night.
Let's talk about a couple stats here. Red Sox hit 293. Braves are down bottom 5, hitting 219. They're slugging 442. The Red Sox are 468. One team strikes out 19.5% in the Red Sox. The Braves are up to 23.6. Weighted runs created is 125 up against 93. So we're getting the better offense there in the Boston Red Sox versus the Atlanta Braves. Bullpen. Oh, boy. Here come the bullpen advantage. I'm just going to rifle these stats off. 2.05 ERA up against 4.76. A 1.83 FIP up against 4.31. How about a 229 opponent's batting average up against 246? And a 1.2 whip up against a 1.32 whip. So we do it all better from the bullpen by a good little bit. We do it all better offense by a good little bit. Bello's on one hell of a roll. Always love taking his over 17.5 outs, but just going to lay off against the Braves because they are the Braves and an offense. But hey, give me the better offense. Give me the better bullpen starter. I think Bello can match Strider. So I'll take the Red Sox today at a good plus 145 price up against the Braves. And then I also am going to go ahead and take the Athletics today up against the Giants. Athletics a plus 215 taking on the Giants. I'm going to get to why they're my best bet. But I'll just tell you right now, the Giants hit 119 versus left-handers. 119? Like, is that even doable? How the hell do you hit 119 as a professional team versus left-handed pitching? They're going to get Hogan Harris today versus Alex Wood. The Athletics are obviously better than left-handers, but not only they're better, they're hitting 262 versus left-handers. You saw a close game last night played out due to the bullpen. That's because the Athletics right now actually have a top 5 bullpen. We talk about the ebb and flow. Their whip is under 1. Their opponent's batting average is 126, which is number 1 in the bigs. The ERA is 2.06. I'm getting massive bullpen advantages. I'm getting massive hitting advantage. I want the Athletics today at plus 215, taking on the Giants. So Red Sox and Athletics for me are the dog of the day. Let's get to 5th inning. We call it keep swinging. We like to give you guys some hitting props. Let's do that. What do you got for us, Squirrel?
Well, this is my WNBA inning, and there's literally one game, and I have 2 bets in the same game, so maybe I'll give you a 2-for-1 here. Run to your books, hurry up, get to the basketball tab, pull up the Washington Mystics and the Minnesota Lynx is the only game today. Starts at 7 p.m. Central. I took the Washington Mystics plus 3.5 on the spread, and under 160.5 is the under right now. That looks pretty good. I'm curious now. I want to bring up my WNBA records for this month because they're actually pretty fantastic. At least last I looked, I think I was like 26-12 or something like that.
All right, let's hear it.
28 wins, 18 losses, up 7.86 units. So that's a 60.9% win rate in WNBA.
Nice. Appreciate a couple WNBA plays and keep swinging. Never know what you're going to get from the squirrel in these categories. So appreciate that, man. Love to see that right there. I like to, of course, give you guys hitting props, guys that can get you a base hit, guys that can go over 1.5 total bases, and guys you can also use on the MLB Streak to Beat app, where you can win $5.7 million. I'm going to use Jose Altuve. He's 11 for 31 up against Haney. He should be back in today's lineup. Only 5 strikeouts in 31 plate appearances. Pretty impressive stuff with 3 doubles and 2 home runs. So give me Jose Altuve. And also give me Brandon Lowe of the Tampa Bay Rays, where he's 4 for 8 up against Alcantara and doing damage. And those 4 hits, he's got 3 doubles and 0 strikeouts. So lefty on righty matchup should favor our hitter. He's got some great numbers off Alcantara. I like Brandon Lowe to go over his 1.5 total bases. 6th inning, we call it It's a Steal. I've, of course, got my NRFI of the day. What do you got for us?
When we were getting ready for it about an hour ago and I was writing things down, I had seen under 9 in the Mets and Yankees game with Rodon there, and I think it's, let me think here. Both teams don't hit particularly well, so then you've got a Mets bullpen that's good, and you've got a Yankees starter that's good. So the only thing I would really feel shaky on is Quintana, and Yankees don't really hit much of anything anyway. So if this is, an average typical game that has been playing out the way it has, under 9 was fantastic. It does look like it's under 8.5 now, but I still wouldn't be too terribly scared to just take under 8.5. So I think due to the bad offenses and decent pitching, I would take the under.
Okay, cool. All right, good stuff right there. I'm going to go ahead and give you my NRFI of the day, of course. I'm going to take you Athletics Giants. NRFI of the day at -105. Athletics Giants. Hogan Harris, a 1.13 whip, a 167 opponent's batting average in the first inning. Alex Wood, a little bit worse, 1.64 whip and a 250 opponent's batting average. We'll lean on these two teams that generally come out cold because they rank 26th and 19th. And the MLBs, they NRFI 72 and 75% of the time. So certainly like the Athletics. Gonna fade a Giants team that's struggling. Gonna hope Alex Wood, the left-hander, can at least do the job for 3 outs and give us a good NRFI cash at -105. We call it our best bet of the day. We like to do it here in the 7th inning, called Coming to a Stretch. What is your best bet today, Squirrel?
These have been some very close games. I watched this one yesterday because I think I had the under 9.5, and it got really sketchy. I'm telling you, it's always this down to the I always tell people it doesn't matter what the hell the sport is. You're down to the bottom of the 9th inning. You're down to the end of the 3rd period. You're down to the end of the 4th quarter. In football, you're like lining up the field goal, and like down to the last 10 seconds of the game. It's always something like that. But it's the Orioles and Phillies game is what I'm looking at. By the numbers, my best projection today, my best bet in terms of the data that I'm comfortable with is the Phillies money line. And yesterday they won with a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th. These have been close games. I think 2-3 and then 3-4. Phillies won yesterday's game. So the thing that freaks me out a bit in terms of taking the Phillies is that they're throwing a left-handed pitcher, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. And yes, they are Ranger Suarez. So the Orioles recently have brought in a lot of runs from a left-handed pitching, but their averages and all these type, like the batting averages and things are not like top tier. They're fairly middle of the road in terms of so I don't really understand the full breakdown. Like they've brought in a lot of runs against left-handed pitching, but the metrics that make up the batting aren't top tier, if that makes sense. So I don't know necessarily what's happened against whoever the lefties were that went against the Orioles, but I do really like the Phillies in terms of numbers and my data modeling today, and that's really the whole explanation I have for you, but it's just the largest discrepancy I have.
Okay, all right, good stuff right there. Like in the Phillies say, man, I actually personally bet the Orioles at plus money, and I actually personally bet Ranger Suarez under 17.5 outs. I think this is exactly what you touched on with that left-hander and how well they hit left-handers. I think this is a nice spot for the Orioles. I didn't quite obviously give it out on the show, but I do have personal cash on the Orioles today. So good luck there, Squirrel. For my best bet today, I'm going to do Giants F5 team total under 2.5. Giants F5 team total under 2.5. If you tailed one of my winners yesterday, we were on the F5 under in this game. And largely we were on that F5 under because the Giants struggles versus left-handers. And now we're going to get a better one on the mound here at Hogan Harris. Guys really seem to turn the corner. And he's going to go up against the same poor offense in the Giants again, hitting 119 versus left-handers. And we're talking 139 plate appearances. So this is not a Giants team that can say, oh, we don't have a lot of volume in the last 10 days. No, we have 139. Nobody has more plate appearances versus us, versus left-handers. And 139, you remember over the course of the season, is a good number at 139. Hitting 119, slugging 214. A weighted runs created at 13. No shit. An average of MLB, league average of 100, and our weighted runs created is 13? I've never seen numbers this low. This is why we were on that F5 under. This is why I like the Oakland Athletics money line today. The Giants can't hit left-handers. Terrible. Striking out at 31.7%. You could do Hogan Harris under 5.5 Ks at plus 120. I gave that a strong look. But in the end, I like the Giants just to not score 3 runs through the first 5 innings at minus 105. Best bet today. He's gotten this cash. You want to talk shit about Hogan Harris? How about he's gotten this cash twice against the Astros? He's gotten this the cash against the Phillies. He's gotten this the cash against the Rays and the Marlins. And yes, we do mention the Marlins because they hit left-handers really well. Hogan Harris turned the corner of the season. Give me the Giants F5 team total under 2.5 runs. Minus 105 is your best bet today. We got to talk a parlay. We do it every day in double play. We give you our parlay of the day. What's the one for you, Squirrel?
Well, of things that we haven't talked about, I'm trying to kind of scramble for a price here.
Okay.
So I like Zach Gallen, and I like the Diamondbacks at home. Whether you want to do that first 5 or not, I do like that look. And then the dude, I don't know if this is just like me hating the Blue Jays from last night or whatnot, but I would think that the Dodgers with Gonsolin against Kikuchi would get it done today. I don't know how they blew a 7-3 lead, but they should have won the one yesterday. I was bet the Blue Jays yesterday. I think I'd back the Dodgers today. So to take the better pitchers and probably better offense and everything, I will go Dodgers and Diamondbacks with Gallen, and for a price that gets you, I don't know, what does it get you? I don't know. I'm struggling to find it. Probably somewhere plus 180, plus 190, I would think.
Okay.
Is that right? That's got to be right. Somewhere in the ballpark, in the vicinity.
In the ballpark. Hey, I realized.
Yeah, you get it?
I realized this section I forgot to write down the notes, so that's why I look like I could be scrambling over here. I'm trying to justify Lance Lynn under 18.5 outs. I didn't quite have his hit rate and stuff. For some reason, I left that off, but I do know he's going up against the Chicago Cubs, who had the first in pitches per plate appearance. How about this is the best offense. Remember yesterday we were on the F5 over? We were on the F5 over large in part because of the Cubs. I didn't sit here with you guys on the payoff pitch, but I'd have told you that they had the number 1 batting average at 344. They've got the number 1 weighted runs created at 165. They remain a team that doesn't strike out at 21.5%. Got a great slugging at 552, which is number 2 in the major leagues. They are smoking, crushing right-handed pitching. Take Lance Lynn under 18.5 outs. And go ahead and parlay with the Tigers. And what we're going to do with this Tigers here going up against the lefty is we're going to take Sandoval under 5.5 Ks. Sandoval under 5.5 Ks. You always get the threat that the Tigers can hit left-handers, which always means that they have the opportunity to chase the pitcher. But if they can't, because they are sitting league average, they're only striking out at 14.9%. That's over 94 plate appearances, so a nice sample size. 14.9% is their K percentage. Boy, love that right there. Sandoval, again, I don't have his hit rate. I must have missed justifying this entire inning here on payoff pitch, so I apologize. But his hit rate was good. Again, Tigers can chase him early. Even if they don't, they're not striking out. They're playing good ball. Love everything about this parlay. And it's at 167, plus 167 for Sandoval under 5.5 Ks. And we're going to parlay that with Lance Lynn under 18.5 outs. All right, let's throw all of our bets out here up on the screen, and then let's talk every game from a money line, run line, over-under perspective. We call it rapid fire. Let's talk all these games. I'm going to toss mine up here. Apologies for not having this done. It takes here half a second. And then let's talk some games. We've already got some baseball starting in 1 minute
now.
ago. Who's on
Like
the
it already
NRFI?
has started.
Who's already sweating the NRFI here in Rays Marlins? Drop a comment in the section while we're sitting here doing a little rapid fire. We'll sweat a NRFI with you guys. Let us know if you're on a NRFI right now. We've got all the picks. I've talked about them, so I won't go through them all. But there they all are. Lots of great winners to keep making money. Let's hop into rapid fire. Let's do it. All right, Rockies and Nationals. The game is underway with an over/under of 9. Well, let's just not talk about it. We'll skip the first 2 games. Marlins, Rays. I mean, it just refreshed and they're already. I mean, Hill's already out. Let's go right to Royals Guardians with an over/under of 10. Royals plus 170. Guardians minus 205. I'll probably just take the Guardians on the run line if I had to. It's all there from a stats perspective.
Yeah, I haven't dug too deep into the Royals recently. I don't know. It might just be stuck in my head that I think I bet like one of the last games Marsh played, and I think I won. I don't know. I'll take the Royals. No real research on it, though.
Mariners and Twins with an over-under of 8.5, plus 135 for the Mariners, minus 160 for the Twins. I'll take the over here. Would probably side with the Twins winning the game, but I'll take the over.
Yeah, I like the over as well. It's probably going to depend mostly on, if Joe Ryan's on or off. I've seen it both ways where, he comes out. I've seen him pitch 9 full innings of basically shutout baseball, and I've seen it not go well for him either, and that's every pitcher under the sun. But I think, these have been close games, right? Over those probably where I'd want to be.
Yeah. What about the Reds?
I don't think I could pay minus 150. If the pitcher wasn't Joe Ryan, this wouldn't be minus 150 though either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair.
So
Reds and Brewers over/under of 9, plus 115 for the Reds. Brewers minus 135. Here's one where I'll take the over as well. Probably would lean with the Brewers, but I'll just take the over.
I had the over yesterday, and I got it 7.5, and it fell at 7. I had the Reds on the money line though, so I split this game 1-1 yesterday. Back to the over probably. Yeah, picking a side, I don't know. I would like to think that the Brewers are going to get more runs than they did yesterday. I mean, they only put up 3 in the bottom of the 9th to make it 7. It was 4-0 Reds, so that was another team they damn near blew the lead at the bottom of the 9th. But yeah, I'll go on the over with you today.
Cardinals and Diamondbacks over/under of 8.5, plus 122 for the Cardinals, minus 145 for the Diamondbacks. Like the over here, and also like the dog and the Cardinals. Bullpen makes me nervous, but that's why I also like the over. But I like the Cardinals in the over.
I like Gallen. I don't know if that means I should, be doing like a first 5 inning if I want the money line. This is why I hate retail books. I like playing offshore because I'm seeing minus 135 instead of 145. I mean, that's a 10-cent discrepancy. Here's something crazy. My dad went on vacation, okay? And he went to some little like podunk casino, and he sent me the picture of the kiosk of the screen. This book should be ashamed of themselves. The kiosk, dude, normally what you call dealing a 20-cent line. This is 10 cents on the over, 10 cents on the under, right? So you have minus 110, minus 110 if you're going to take the over or under. They were dealing a 50-cent line. It was minus 125, minus 125 on both sides of the line. It's unplayable. You can't bet there. I mean, to break even, normally you have to win 52.38% of the time. There, you have to win 55.56% of the time to break even. So, just to make the tiniest amount of money, you have to win 56% of the time. You can't overcome that. Any average person, they're just taking advantage. It's unplayable. It makes you sick, dude. I mean, if the only thing you could play is minus 125, no matter what you did.
I mean,
Sucks.
that's a big difference in what your win percentage needs to be to pull a profit. I mean, you said it's 52.3%. That's at minus 110 or better every bet. That's at every bet at minus 110.
Yes,
You
yes,
know, we're
that's what I'm
talking,
trying to tell you,
yeah.
right? So, if you're telling me minus 145 and I can get minus 135, I mean, yeah, like, your win percentage is like a 2.5% difference every time.
Yeah.
So,
All right, let's keep it
no,
going
it's,
here with Blue Jays and Dodgers with an over/under of 10. We've got plus
um,
105 for the Blue Jays, Dodgers minus 125. There's a thing, and you probably have it more readily available maybe for another day, but teams that come off like these heartbreaker losses, the way they respawn, but I'm still going to take the
mm-hmm.
Dodgers at minus 125.
I am too,
The
dude. I
Kikuchi
can't.
should get. I was all over a Kikuchi outs line. The books are too scared to give it to you. They know he should get eaten up by the Dodgers.
Yeah, I know that as well. Look, and I even backed the Dodgers yesterday, and I'm not even really mad about the bet because I know I was on the right play. Like,
Mm.
it was 7-3, dude. I mean, but let's talk about, and this is a law. Oh my God, I can't talk. This is league wide, right? This is across all the teams. These relievers can't handle any pressure. It comes to, I mean, they just crumble. It comes to the eighth, the bottom of the ninth inning, and they start sweating, they're shaking, they throw ball after ball, they're down in the dirt, throwing wild pitches. It's like, can we get a closer that's just confident and calm and can finish a game when you have a 4-run lead? Like, because
Mm-hmm.
it's over and over and over again. It's not just last night. It's not just one team that this is happening to. It's like, today's relievers are not, or today's closers are just not, I don't know, not very confident. They don't burn them in there like I feel they used to. They don't make them like they used to, okay?
That's right. Pirates and Padres with an over/under of 8.5 plus 162 for the Pirates. Padres coming at minus 195.
For the Padres struggles, I mean, do we want to pay minus 190? I certainly don't think so.
I want even
Um,
money for the run
you,
line. Even money.
you want the Padres that much?
Mm-hmm. Sure. I'm scared.
Hmm. Okay. I'll take the Pirates just because I don't think Padres are worth, nearly 200.
Okay. Orioles and Phillies minus 105 for the Orioles, minus 115 for the Phillies with an over/under of 9.5. We see this game a little bit different. I lock in on the Orioles. You lock in on
Yeah.
the Phillies. Angels and
Yep, and
Tigers.
I even identified, like the thing that freaks me out, but I got to go purely with my data though.
Yeah. What about minus 110? Minus 110, Angels versus Tigers with an over/under of 8.5. I would take a stab with the Tigers for sure. For sure, would take a stab with the Tigers.
Yeah. What happened yesterday in this, by the way?
I think the Tigers lost by like a run, if I recall. It was like 7-6 or 8-7,
Let's see.
something. I think they were lost by a run.
So I know somebody in terms of big name bettors had the Tigers to win the series here, so I'll back Tigers too.
Ooh, big name better.
Yeah.
Mets and Yankees 8.5 the total. Mets are plus
That's what
130.
this is
Yankees are
about, though.
minus 155. I'm taking the under. Two offenses that are struggling versus left-handers. I want the under in this matchup.
Once again, 145 for me on the Yankees. So I'll take that, and I did take that. But back to the big name better thing. It's all about information. I mean, that's all this whole industry is about, is information. At the core of what sports betting truly is it's not as much as you'd think it is some guy in a closet pumping out numbers and shit. I mean, it's not. It very much is all about information and trading information. And if you can bring something to the table and find other people that do things that you don't do, then you can trade your information for theirs. And that's, really how this whole thing works.
Guys, just busting your chops. No worries, man.
Stop
Braves,
that.
Braves and Reds over/under of 10, minus 165 for the Braves. Red Sox plus 140. I'm going under and Red Sox on the money line, but obviously like the money line a lot better. A lot better.
Okay. I like the under. I took the Red Sox yesterday. They got the win against Strider here today. I do have
slightly under on the projection. So if he's 8.5, I think I had 8.2. It's not a massive, projection differential by any means. So there's nothing to bet for me there. I would take the other side of Bray and Bello over the 4.5. And if I'm gonna back Bello, and I'll take the Red Sox. I guess I had them yesterday, but I like Bello. I like the under.
Okay. We got the Rangers and Astros over under of 8.5. Rangers plus 150. Astros minus 178. I could probably take the over, and I would take the Astros on the run line.
I took the Astros run line yesterday. I think it was minus 140 I paid and got the win. I like the over here, I think. I would rather, for offensive output, offensive production, I think gets me to the over.
Cubs and White Sox over under of 9, minus 115 Cubs, minus 105 White Sox. I would just take the over in this matchup. I believe the Cubs will likely pull out the win, but I'll just take the over.
Didn't the Cubs slam them yesterday? Like, I think last I looked at the score is like 7-1 or something like that, 7-0.
Yeah, I think it finished 7-3.
If that was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the White Sox can't hit, dude. They suck so bad. And they just drop so many damn games. This is another team that I got screwed by a few days ago. You remember against the Twins, I think they had a 3-0 lead, went into the bottom of the ninth, and effed that one up too. So certainly can't back them to win. What leads you to the over if the White Sox aren't really expected to hit or bring in runs? Because I don't expect them to do anything offensively. I can't count on them.
Yeah, I think they can contribute enough against the Cubs bullpen to hit an over, but I like the Cubs money line more.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, in no capacity. Oh my God, it's only minus 105. Yeah, dude, I'm not betting the White Sox. Yeah, I'll take the Cubs.
Yeah, Cubs. Athletics and Giants over under of 8.5, plus 196 for the Athletics, minus 240 for the Giants. It says undecided, but obviously I'm banking on Alex Wood. I need Alex Wood to be the starter.
I see Alex Wood as well.
There's enough sites that think it's Alex. They're telling me it's Alex Wood to give me confidence to back the 215 Athletics. Really hope we get Alex Wood up against Hogan Harris. Give me the Athletics on the money line, and because neither team can hit, I'll take the under again, just like yesterday.
Sure, I agree with both of those, and just to give you a little bit of confidence, if the starter wasn't known, you would not get a line from Circa Pinnacle Bookmaker, the market maker books. And you do have a line there. It's plus 200 to plus 210 in that vicinity for the Athletics. Maybe, it doesn't feel good laying plus 200, but I certainly would today.
Let's go.
On the,
Full unit on plus 215. Let's get it, boys. And thank you guys for hanging out with us on this glorious Wednesday. Felt good to be back with you. Look forward to being back with you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Previewing a great Thursday slate in the MLB. Good luck with your bets today. Let's ring that cash register. We're here tomorrow, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
See you.